Hi, my name is Rebecca Jordan-Glum, and I'm the author-illustrator of the upcoming book, The Trouble with Penguins, out on Roaring Brook Press in fall of 2020. And I am here today to give you a sneak peek of the book. This isn't the book, by the way. This is like my cute little mini one that I made. But I have proofs that were given to me by the publisher, and I'm going to share that with you. So I just got this, and I'm very excited about the high gloss title. Very fancy. So this is the cover of my first book that I have written and illustrated. So you can see the spine, The Trouble with Penguins, and the back. Okay, and I am going to give you a sneak peek. And these are the proofs, so they're not printed double-sided. They're a bunch of different sheets, so bear with me. So here is the end papers. It'll be glued down to the cover. And I will read you the synopsis. Penguins, marshmallows, and fire. What could go wrong? On the day the penguin met the person, everything changed. A heartwarming friendship blossomed between the two as they shared a delightful little campfire. Everything was wonderful, until it wasn't. From creator Rebecca Jordan-Glum comes the unforgettable tale of a curious group of penguins and a friendship that sets their world ablaze. Ooh, that sounds kind of exciting. So, okay, then we have the title page. Okay, and the first page. On the day the penguin discovered the person, everything changed. The penguin had been waddling along in a most penguinish manner, minding its own penguin business, until it wasn't. Oh, hello, I'm roasting marshmallows. Would you like one? Of course the penguin would like a marshmallow. It liked it very much, in fact. Come on, I'll show you how. The two friends roasted marshmallows together by the little fire. When it was time for the penguin to go home, the person gave it a hug and the very best roasting stick, and they shared a warm goodbye. This page doesn't have any words. Naturally, the other penguins were quite impressed and wanted to roast marshmallows by the fire too. And this is a wordless spread. Where do you think they're going? You're just gonna have to wait to find out. That's the end of my little sneak peek of the book. But it's called The Trouble with Penguins, so I'm assuming there's a bit of trouble. Okay, well, thank you for letting me share that with you. And now I want to show you how I come up with my characters, a little trick that I have. And I'm going to show you this piece of paper that I have folded into 16 squares, and then we're going to fold one together. Okay, so this is just printer paper. I love printer paper. It's just got a nice weight to it, and it's cheap and readily available. So I am going to fold this in half. And I don't know if you've ever done origami before. I love origami, but It's all about taking your time and folding the corners neatly and doing a very nice job, as best a job as you can do. So I unfold it and I fold it again. Now we have 4. And sometimes I stop there, but today I'm going to keep going. And if you turn this opposite and fold in like this, it helps you get it really neat. Okay, and now I have 8. But I'm not going to stop there because I want 16 squares for what I'm going to show you. Actually, they're rectangles. Okay, so there you have it. 16 squared paper. And what we're going to do with it is I like to draw a bunch of characters in little square rectangles on paper. So here's one that I've done. This is a photocopy of one. And you can see these are just sketch drawn. In each of the 16 spaces, I've done a different one. And the reason I like working like this is because you can use your own work for reference. So if you draw one that you like, then you draw more and you can look over and see how tall they should be or how wide they should be or where the eye goes. And it helps with consistency in your character because this is not a complicated character. So before I show you how I do that, I want to go back to this paper folding. Oh, I lost it. Okay, here it is. I want to show you what not to do. Okay, don't do this, right? This paper, I folded in half, folded it again, folded it again, folded it again. 16 squares, but look what happens. Got all these creases and wrinkles, and it's not nice for drawing on. It really, so don't do this. Take the time, draw, or fold the squares or the rectangles neatly. Okay, so here we have our sheet, and I'm going to let you in on another secret of mine. Okay, I want to be drawing this guy. Here's another one I've made. This one's a pop-up guy. You just fold the bottom. And how do I get to this character, right? It's a penguin. It's loosely a penguin. Is it a National Geographic photorealistic penguin? No, it's not. It's a character of a penguin. So I looked at penguins and saw what they actually look like and picked out some characteristics that I thought define them as a penguin. So in this case, that would be, it's black and white. It's got a beak, right? It's got 2 little penguin-y feet. These are the specifics that I told people it was a penguin. But aside from that, you can get as creative as you want in your character. So how do I know the shape of these penguins? Because when you're drawing something, what does someone dancing look like? What does a penguin singing look like? What does a penguin pulling on something look like? I don't know these things. This is not made up out of my head. This is me looking at reference. And is there reference of penguins doing this in the real world? Probably not. If you find a penguin singing and dancing, please send me the video because I would love to see it. So basically, these are not behaviors that actual penguins do, right? So how do you get reference for a penguin? And here's my secret that I'm going to share with you. Toddlers, right? Little kids. Little kids are shaped wonderfully. They've got these nice blocky feet, right? They're real stocky. They're not too tall. Got the big head. And they do fun, silly things, right? So if I'm imagining what a penguin looks like dancing, I can use this. So I did one earlier, just a very quick sketch. Oh, and you can see here I drew on this. So children have feet that separate, right? But these penguins, their body comes down lower, right? So you can see here I sketched on this that I'm just going to join their bodies between the legs. So instead of giving them the tall separate legs, so here is one I did a little earlier. It looks a lot like the boy above it, standing on one leg and dancing. Now I just did this in about 15 seconds. I would spend a little more time on it. But not a lot at this stage, right? I'm trying to get characters doing interesting things that I can use in my book. So let's do another one real quick. So I'm going to take my pencil, and I will show you my pencil. I like this pencil a lot. It's got a nice thick lead. It's not very sharp. A lot of people sharpen stuff all the time. And I guess sometimes I use sharp. But a lot of times for this, I'm just trying to feel out shapes. Here's another one. This is a jumbo grip Faber-Castell. This is not an expensive pencil. And this one, it's called the Big Dipper. And this is a kindergarten toddler pencil for little hands that are just learning to write, but it also has the very big lead that I like. So anything with a nice strong lead, because I don't like breaking them, and I don't like too fine a detail at this point. I'm just really trying to rough in shapes. So let's take one of these. How about we do this girl next to, so here, I don't know if you can see, basically the fold lines are here. So I try to work completely within. Occasionally something will go over the edge and I don't worry about that. But in general, I try and keep them within the confined space. And you can see the edges of this paper when I photocopied it show up a little bit. So it helps me keep their proportions right. So I am going to, how about I do her, right? So if she were a penguin, she's got a bent arm here, a little bit there, and here's this nice foot. See, they already have the almost the same shaped foot. I mean, they don't have to these little things, but the nice thick foot. And instead of going all the way up here, she's got a dress on, but just join them. And then you end up with a penguin. And I use the way her face is shaping, or her face is turned to help shape this. So here is where her eyes are, right? So that would make, if this were a penguin, these guys, in my character, tend to have very flat heads. And I'm going to just erase this. I put that there to show you. I don't do a lot of erasing, by the way, in these, but sometimes you need to clarify, just so you don't distract yourself with a wrong line. But definitely don't go get crazy trying to erase all these. So then the eye would be over here. And they have dark flippers. And maybe a bit of the tail sticking out over here. And that's it. There it is. Another penguin. So you can see that using children for drawing characters, I could probably do, you know, any character. Let's say a cat. Let's use this kid real quick just to show you that you can pick whatever character you want. So here's its head, right? And his eyes are like down here, right? He's got pretty big eyes. So the arms don't work with this one, so we'll just add in a couple cute little ones. But if you ever need a head, toddlers have nice chunky heads, and it's good for making up other characters. Might add a tail or something on like that. But anyways, there's an example that you can draw anything you want. Maybe color it in, maybe give it some stripes on its tail, or part of its face is a different color, right? Just make it cat. You think, what elements make something cat-like? Some claws, right? I don't know about you, but my cat likes to try and scratch people. So anyways, so there is that. And I want to show you a couple other ways that you can use this 16 rectangle setting. And it doesn't have to always be the 16. So I showed you the penguins. I do bunches of these, by the way. This was not the only sheet of penguins. And actually, I wanted to show you that these end up getting scanned in, and I actually work on them digitally. But you can see this penguin here on the back of the book. There it is. That is the actual original drawing for this penguin. So drawing like this, it might look loose, but is very useful. Okay, so other options are, well, this book used to have a different title, but here are sketches of a little cottage, a little cabin, different angles, right? So you can just kind of play with things. Gives you an opportunity to say, okay, I looked at it like that, what if I do this? So it doesn't have to always be a character. You can use it to, now this one, instead of folding it, I kept it a double. So that would be more like this. I folded this one a little differently, this one, but very similar concept. So here's multiple, it's a sequence. So you can use it like that. Here are some characters of the little girl in the book. And this is actually the character from the first page. So in this case, I was trying to work out a fourth drawing, and I had 3. And so I photocopied them, and then I drew this one. And I'm sure I drew it a bunch. This is just the one I ended up liking and using. So sometimes photocopying your work and then drawing next to it will help you come up with new positions for your character while still staying consistent, because I can look over here and see what elements I need and if I missed anything. Another way to use that, right? Sometimes I like to actually draw in to give me the square. And when I do that, for consistency, I'll go generally up. It's easier than drawing each one at a time. But anyways, so here you go. And these are book cover ideas. So, looking at this, this was kind of one of the original concepts for the current book cover. You can see a lot changed, but you can see the penguins on the side and the girl in the middle. So it takes a lot of tries to come up with a good idea. So don't think you just draw something once and it's magic. You don't. And that's it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to talk to you soon.